Hi everyone, it's Nisha. So today we are going to try the Lisa Eldridge Seamless Skin Foundation. I know this is not new. I don't know how I've missed that one. I knew about it when it came out, but for some reason I haven't tried it. So we are going to try it today. Absolutely love the packaging. It looks like a bullet. The only thing is, it's not gonna stand like this. It has a flat side here, so you have to have it laying down like this. But it is nice and comfortable to hold. I quite like it, it's different. It's quite heavy, it's glass. Now the best thing about it is that Lisa sells these sample cards. So I first ordered 2 of each. I've got here light medium medium and light medium. So light medium is from number 11 to 14, and then light medium medium is from number 15 to number 18. I chose the number 11 because this is the best color for me when I don't really have fake tan on, and I don't. I mean, I've got tiny bit here just wearing off. But if I like it enough, I probably get darker color so I can mix them. You know, I am different color every day because I fake tan a lot, and the first day I'm really dark, and then as it wears off I get lighter. So every time I come on here I am in a different color. But these are really brilliant. So for example, in the light medium there is not such a big difference in the intensity of the color, but there is lots of different undertones. So I feel like there is a color for everybody, and I love that she sells these because one of these is plenty for one application, but I had 2 of each card so I could try it for a couple of days to see the color. And number 11 is light, medium, neutral, I think with yellow undertones. I'm not 100% sure. Okay, let's apply it. I am going to use the BK Beauty 101 brush, and while I'm doing that, so right, it's quite thick, but it does run. This is 2 pumps. The pumps are quite small. The amount that comes out is quite small in each pump. And while I'm doing this, I will tell you more about this foundation. I also think that this foundation oxidizes slightly. This is a soft focus, seamless, skin-like finish in a lightweight, long-wearing, skin-friendly formula. Medium coverage with minimum 12-hour wear, available in 43 colors. It contains natural mesh-like ingredient which completely fuses with skin after blending. The final finish is neither dewy or flat matte, but something soft and skin-like in between, and it's supposed to be self-setting. So this applies quite nicely. It doesn't spread as easily as my Delilah Alibi foundation. You know, I'm going to be always comparing everything to that foundation. But Delilah is very, very watery, but has a lot of pigment in it, so it gives you good coverage. I don't want to apply it under my eyes, but it's not sticking very well to my nose, but most foundations don't. So this was 4 pumps, but like I said, each pump, the amount is not that much, which I quite like, because sometimes 1 pump is so much foundation, they use too much. It feels like it sets pretty quickly. It's not like very greasy and emollient, if you know what I mean. Okay, so that's the first layer. Let me zoom you in. So yeah, it is definitely light medium coverage. I can still see all the imperfections, but it has even out my skin tone. It looks very much skin-like, and as you can see, it's not matte and it's not very glowy. It's just skin-like. Yeah, it looks nice. So I might apply a bit more to see how it builds up. Just like on my cheeks really, and my nose. And I might push that in with a sponge. I'm sorry if you can hear noises outside, but I have people doing something on my roof, so there might be a noise now and again. But we have to soldier on and carry on. Okay, so that's built it up a bit better. My nose accepted a bit more foundation on it, but I wouldn't say it gives you lots of coverage with the second layer. I can still see through it, so I probably wouldn't build it up. If I wanted a bit more coverage with it, I just use, as usual, the Lily Lolo mineral powder foundation, which gives me a bit more coverage. Okay, so see, I think I can see the texture of it around my mouth, and that's where I have the most texture. By the way, I've got normal skin with oily T-zone, and I get quite oily on my chin, on my forehead, and sometimes a bit here. So of course, where I'm the most oily, that's where I have the most texture, and this does exaggerate the texture a bit. Not terribly, but I think if you kept building it up, it would start looking quite cakey around here. I don't know if you can see it. Something that I have to put up with really, but yeah, it's not like you can't see it here, you can, and like here. Okay, I'm going to do my concealer. I'm using something new as well, new to me. It's the Beautiful Skin Radiant Concealer from Charlotte Tilbury in 7.5. Really like it. It's very elastic, and I don't know, that's how I describe this type of concealer, sort of stretchy. Know though that these concealers are so bright. So in her Beautiful Skin Foundation, I am 6 neutral, and you would think that you would buy concealer that is lighter than the foundation, but no, mine is 7.5 because they are very, very bright. Mind you, with this foundation I probably could have used something lighter because this foundation is quite light. I'm going to use the Milani Concealer and Perfect in 130 because it's a bit lighter, because this foundation is quite light. The Charlotte Tilbury is for my a bit darker foundation, so we do that. I'm going to wait a bit now for this foundation to set. It's supposed to be self-setting, so technically you don't need to set it with powder. But while I'm doing that, I want to swatch this foundation on my arm and wait for that to set, and then see if it oxidizes. So once it's dried, I'm going to apply another pump next to it and see if it oxidized. So we will let this to dry. Okay, so I am feeling slight pulling sensation, like drying sensation, and I remember reading on this little leaflet here, it's got this film excel, which is a brilliantly clever biopolymer that forms a resistant and flexible mesh on the skin. 3 minutes after application, the biopolymer sets, delivering a subtle lifting, tightening and smoothing effect. So that's probably what I'm feeling. To me it feels a bit dry. I can feel that pulling sensation, not terrible, but I can feel it a bit. Okay, I thought what would be good to do, so you know, most of the time I set my foundations with the Lily Lolo, and I thought I will just set one side of my face and leave the other unset, and we will see how that looks. Let me just lightly set under my eyes. I'm just using the Morphe Brightening Pink Powder. Just very, very lightly. I will set my... and set the eyebrows, ready for the pencil. Okay, so now on this side I am going to apply the Lily Lolo in Cookie, and we will see. I probably will get a bit more coverage with it, but we will see if it starts looking a bit more cakey, because obviously this adds coverage as well. But that's why I love this powder. It sort of evens every foundation out and makes it look much better. So I will just do the one side. I zoom you in and we will have a look. Okay, so I've put the Lily Lolo on this side and I don't have any on this side. So you can see, I think I got a bit more coverage and it sort of looks all even. It doesn't look dry and cakey straight away, but it's a bit, yeah, you can see you've got powder on it, whereas here you don't. This has really dried down and set. It's not really sticky. Obviously it's a bit more sticky than this side, but yeah, it sets pretty nicely. So I am going to go and do my brows, apply bronzer and all that, and then I will be back and then we will see. This hasn't set yet. I put quite a big swatch and we will see if this oxidizes. Okay, so this is with the blush and bronzer. The bronzer applied quite well on the top of that unset side of my face. Obviously, it applied fine here. I do think I prefer the side that is been set with the Lily Lolo than this side, but this one looks fine too. So this is the set side. I think I've got a bit of a moustache that I haven't shaved. And this is the unset side. It definitely will emphasize texture if you have texture. I don't believe it will make you look skin-like. And I don't have that much texture. But other than that, it does look pretty natural, especially, you know, I always say to you, whenever I do foundation reviews, I sit so close to the mirror. I have really bright lights in front of me. It's not really real life. But whenever I look at myself within like arm length, it looks beautiful. So take that to consideration. You will never have someone looking at you that close and always in really bright light. So yes, if I look at myself from here, it looks really, really pretty. Okay, I'm just gonna do my eyes and then I will be back. Right, so the foundation looks really nice. Like I said, from a normal human distance, it looks really pretty. We will see how it wears and how these two sides compare, the one that's been powdered and the one that hasn't. Is that one going to slide off my face? We will see. But this has set now, so let's swatch again next to it to see if that oxidizes, because I am pretty sure that it does. Yes, definitely. Can you see the fresh swatch, how much lighter it is than this? Look. So take that into consideration, because I remember when I was choosing this foundation from the little swatches, when I first put the number 11 on, I thought, it's a bit light. But then as the day went on, I thought, actually, I'm looking a bit more tanned now. So yes, look at the difference. Definitely oxidizes. Quite annoying, but a lot of foundations do, especially ones that set. It's a bit like, you know, with liquid lipsticks. When you first apply them, they are a bit lighter, and as they dry down, they get darker. So it's a bit like that. So I would definitely order those swatch cards, because you might think you've chosen the right color, but it oxidizes. So I really recommend to start with the swatches. Okay, I will see you in a few hours. Okay, I'm back. It's almost 4:30, and I applied this foundation about 10 o'clock. So what's that, 6 hours, just over 6 hours. And for me this is enough, because I don't need my foundation to last me more than 6-8 hours. And usually if the foundation is gonna break down or look awful, by now it would. So let me have a look. Okay, so remember, this was the side where I applied the powder. This is without the powder. I will zoom you in a minute. Oh, I see I've got a lot of fallout from the eyeshadow. I must have done it when I was doing my eyes. But, right, so from that distance, it looks really, really pretty. It looks nicer than it did even when I first applied it, because my natural oils come through a bit. You can see I'm a bit shiny on my forehead, on my chin, and a bit here in usual places. But this is nothing. With most other foundations, I'm much more oily in those places. So this is just nice. I wouldn't even retouch it or powder it. So let me first have a close look, because I haven't looked at myself all day. There isn't much difference between the powdered side and not powdered side, even when it comes to the oils. Yeah, because I powdered half of my forehead as well, but it's still, the oils come through that. So you definitely don't have to powder this. Although I don't know how this would work on very oily skin. It says that it's for all skin types, but obviously I don't have oily skin, so I can't tell you. But this looks really, really good. You know, with when I was saying about the texture, to be honest, I think when I look that close, I have that look around my mouth with any foundation. So don't think that when I said, oh, you can see the texture, that is something horrible and it emphasizes it. I just think if you have texture, I don't think there is a foundation that's gonna mask it, if you know what I mean. But yeah, it looks really pretty. Let me zoom you in. So this is the side with powder. This is my moustache. Honestly, I've got a bit of a moustache, especially on this side. And this is the side without powder. I think I have a bit more coverage here, because that powder would give me a bit more coverage. But in a way that the foundation looks, there is no difference really. I just have a bit more coverage on this side. Can you see? If you look down here. So I do prefer this side because I have more coverage. And I'm happy that that powder didn't make the foundation look more cakey. It hasn't broken up anywhere. You know, usually foundation would break up on my chin and sometimes a bit here and here. It hasn't settled in my lines, so it's looking really, really good. Apart from, look at that fallout that I have. I must have had that fallout after I've done my makeup, but I didn't see it. I was too excited about the foundation. Yes, so really, really like it. And with the oxidization, it hasn't oxidized anymore. So I think what happens, you put it on and probably within 5-10 minutes it will oxidize and it will stay that color. So it's not like it gets darker and darker as the day goes on. But this color is actually perfect for me, the 11. So if you ever bought a foundation the same color that I wear, go for 11. Unless you tan, then you will have to mix it with something else. One last thing, this is a slight design fault. It's not a big deal, but this cup, as you can see, is not completely round. So when you're putting it back on a bottle, you have to make sure that you line it up. Because what I was doing, I would just put it any old way and I think, oh, this is not lined up, and then just turn it. And when you do that, you unscrew the pump. So make sure you line it up, because if you start turning the cup while it's already on the foundation, you will unscrew the whole pump. So that's it really. Yes, so really lovely foundation. I think this will be going to my favorite foundations team. So like right now, you know, the Lilac is obviously my favorite. The Derma blend I love, and I think I'm adding this one now. It's really, really nice, and it lasts very nicely. It doesn't break up at all. I could, you know, just now blot it with a tissue and powder it slightly, but I like it. To me, this is just looks nice and fresh now. I don't like my foundations too matte, but I also don't like them too glowy. This is just right for me. Okay, my lovelies, let me know if you've got this foundation. Do you like it? How you get on with it? But that's all from me. Thank you so much for watching, and stay fabulous. Bye.